So I gave myself 12 hours to 100% Spider-Man. That's every story mission, every collectible, finish every district, do every challenge, just do everything. And let's just say it doesn't really go according to plan.
I don't know what I was expecting, but it was definitely not this.
So let's just see what happened. All right, before we actually get into the game, there's just some settings that I need to be changing. So we set both option to skip puzzles and QTE autocomplete to on. As much as I love this game, the puzzles in this game, really not that good. So the start of the game is pretty normal. Peter wakes up in his Spidey underwear, as we all do. And I've noticed while watching this back, how many takeaway boxes does this boy have? There's these on the cooker. There's these where his web shooters are. This is where you clicked on a Spider-Man video to find out, right? But after getting dressed for success and finding out that we're a little late on rent, we get a call that something is going down at Fisk Tower. So we need to get on with our day. And this is still one of the best intros I've ever seen in a video game. Just flying out of the window straight into the swinging. It still hits so good, even 8 years later. While on the way to Fisk Tower, we get a call from Yuri, and we actually request to come and join the party at Fisk Tower.
Mind if I join in on the fun?
Also, as well, we got a call from work, and of course, we're running late.
Hello?
Parker, where are you? We must run through the demonstration at least once before the grant committee arrives.
We arrive at Times Square, and it looks like Fisk guys aren't too thrilled that the police are here, so now we need to take those guys out. And now time for a very quick combat tutorial.
For their hot, fresh cup of bodily harm.
Looking back, it's kind of crazy how Batman pretty much revolutionized combat in these types of games, and it's just now the norm for every single one of these types of games. Insomniac looked at the Arkham games and just went, yeah, we'll have that, but instead, we'll just make him Spider-Man. In this tutorial, we get taught how to use our webs, how to throw projectiles at enemies, and other combat tricks. After dealing with the enemies, a bomb goes off at Fisk Tower, so we need to swing our way over there. We get a quick little catch-up with Yuri, and we need to quickly go.
Do your thing. Yes.
We bust through this window and get some very great encouragement from this police officer.
All clear path. Follow me. Get out of here, Spider-Man. We got this.
And after clearing out all the enemies, we find out that the elevators are disabled, but that isn't exactly an issue for us when we can run up a wall.
Heading to the upper floors and hoping nobody turns on the elevators.
After crawling through some vents and a quick call from Aunt May asking us about our dinner plans,
I just wanted to make sure we're still on for dinner tomorrow night.
Totally.
we then gain access to our combo finishers, which are these flashy instant down moves, and they just look so great, and we're going to be seeing them a lot in this playthrough. After dealing with those, we need to bust through into the security room, but since the door is locked, we use our own private entrance. We bust into the room, and now we have 48 seconds to take these guys down and stop some files being erased. We do stop the files from being erased, but then these other guys come in and also try and destroy everything, but we make quick work of them. Eventually, we manage to enter this room and try and assist some police officers, but it seems like they're kind of dirty, so now we just have to take out those guys as well. And we deal with shield enemies for the first time, but it's nothing too difficult. And now we have to deal with Wilson Fisk himself. In order to gain access to him, we rev up his turrets and throw them into his bulletproof glass. And now we get to fight Wilson Fisk himself. I'll be honest, he's an easy boss. You just need to web him up in order to restrict his movement and then just go crazy on him and not get pimp slapped like I do here. But you do this a few times and then more of Fisk's men come in to assist him, and we need to take those guys down as well. But eventually Fisk tries to take us out, and having the QTE's autocomplete just makes these scenes just look so comical when they get slowed down. But eventually, after falling down numerous floors, we manage to web up Fisk, and that's the first boss done.
So, should we kiss now?
With Fisk now in handcuffs, we leveled up, so we get to use our first skill point.
The Kingpin is heading to prison. End of an era. I feel like I should celebrate. Maybe take a vacation.
And then we get another call from work, so we need to head over there as soon as possible.
Parker, where are you? The committee will be here soon.
We arrive at work, and we're working with Dr. Otto Octavius, and he's trying to do a particular experiment, but sadly it's just not going that well for him.
It's fine, Parker. I invented this equipment. I think I can handle it.
So we have to try and fix it ourselves. And of course, in order to fix it, we have to do some puzzles. So skip. And after doing that, we get to leave. After leaving, we get a call from Yuri telling us where Fisk is being kept, which is a facility where all our other villains are being kept.
Our boy qualifies for the VIP treatment. He's in the raft.
Ah, joining Scorpion, Electro, and the rest. Fisk should be honored. That's esteemed company.
I'm sure that won't be an issue later on. But Yuri asks us to meet her at the police station. And she tells us that the police towers aren't up and running, so we need to do a bit of maintenance in order to get them back online. Because, of course we do. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man by day, engineer by night, apparently. But obviously, in game language, these are basically just viewpoints that allow us to see the entire map. After doing this, we get our first crime that we have to deal with.
I'm seeing all crime data in the area now. Looks like there's a break-in happening near me.
Great. I've got units nearby.
Don't bother. I'm on it.
This will be where the majority of our time will be spent cleaning up for the 100%, as each section of the map requires you to do around 20 crimes through different factions. It's a lot, because apparently Spider-Man's greatest enemy in this game isn't Rhino, it's not Electro, it's not Scorpion, it's petty crime. I mean, I know he is the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but still. But we'll touch on these crimes a little bit later on once we're fully grinding them. For now, let's just deal with these ones. After dealing with that crime, we rush over to the next tower and do a practically Assassin's Creed synchronized style. Back when Assassin's Creed was actually good. Doing this tower shows off another collectible we need for the 100%, and these are Spider-Man's old backpacks.
One of my old backpacks from high school. Forgot I attached tracking dots to these.
Just some quick maths. That's 55 backpacks in this game. Say you spend about $30 on a backpack. That's $1,500 Peter has spent on backpacks. And he wonders why he can't pay rent. After grabbing that bag, we deal with one of my favorite crimes in this game.
Hey, fellas.
Spider-Man! Shoot him!
When the shop is getting robbed, we intervene and just look how cool this looks. This camera angle just makes it look so cool. And what's even crazy, I'm pretty sure they took these out in the second game. Kind of mad. After dealing with this crime, we then activate the third tower in this area. After that, our suit is pretty badly messed up, so we need to go fix it. But all our suit repair equipment is back at the lab, so we quickly check to make sure Otto is not there.
No, I'm stepping out for dinner anyhow. We'll resume tomorrow.
And now here's what the majority of this playthrough is. I won't be fast traveling for the majority. However, when swinging to my next objective, if a collectible is in the way or if a crime spawns near it, I'll just do it, just because I hope to hopefully cut down on the amount of cleanup that I need in the endgame. Again, I won't talk about these too much, just mainly the ones where it's downtime in the story or if it's a new collectible that I'm picking up. We arrive back at the lab and get to work on our suit. Now we're cracking on with just working on some Spidey stuff, but then Otto decides to come back into the lab while we're doing said things.
Parker. Dr. Octavius.
What are you working on?
Oh, just a side project.
Of course. It's you. Yes. I guess if you design his equipment, you're bound to be a target too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we just tell him that we definitely aren't Spider-Man and we're only his tech guy. And for as smart as he seems to buy that. Then after that, we purchase the advanced suit and do some of our first upgrades.
Excuse me, late for work.
After having ourselves a pretty nice suit, Yuri gives us a call to inform us about the new Fisk hideouts that we need to contend with.
That's why I'm hoping you can keep an eye on the location. Tell me if you see anything suspicious.
So after one high-speed chase and a couple of backpacks later, we arrive at this Fisk hideout, and this is just an area where it's like wave after wave of enemies, and you just need to take them down. I'll be honest, they're a lot of fun. As I say, numerous waves of different types of enemies, especially in the later game. They're actually some of my favorite activities to do in this game, to be honest. Mainly because unlike the puzzles, the solution here is just violence. And after dealing with that hideout, our map... Oh my god. And after dealing with that hideout, our map gets updated showing off every other hideout that we need to do. So we do some more quick upgrades, mainly because we get to swing a lot faster now. On to our next collectible. We're going to be starting with these pictures. You need to take pictures of many different landmarks throughout New York. After doing some more collectibles and getting some very nice references.
I wonder if King T'Challa got his powers from being bitten by a radioactive panther.
We arrive at Feast, which is basically an emergency shelter that Aunt May helps out at. And it turns out it's Aunt May's birthday, so we need to distract her a little bit while they set up stuff for her birthday.
The two of you would make some beautiful baby.
While in Feast, we also get a voicemail from Yuri that an alarm at the Wilson Fisk estate has tripped, so she wants us to go check it out. So again, same old, same old. On the way to the estate, we do some collectibles, we do some Fisk hideouts and some other crimes, before eventually arriving at the estate. When arriving at said estate, the silent alarm wasn't actually a false alarm.
The silent alarm was legit. Masked gunman and a single hostage. Looks like a heist in progress.
Copy that.
And then we get our first taste of stealth in this game. The fun stealth, not the stealth we'll deal with later on. Especially when here we distract this guard, then we do our best reenactment of Shelob doing things to Frodo. Then we run into MJ after she whacks this guy.
Hey, Pete.
And now everyone's favorite part of this game, we're playing as MJ. And yeah, who wants to swing around as Spider-Man when you can just do some stealth with MJ and hide behind boxes for minutes? But after wandering around for a bit, we notice this statue in here, and we need to investigate it. And while doing stealth, Rose is here asking some very important questions.
What do you mean he had to reschedule? If she's not your reporter, who is she, Craig?
Rose, how on earth is Craig supposed to know? Eventually, we get into this room, and we do some moving about with this statue, and that's our little catch-up with Spider-Man. Also, just some exposition. In this version of Spider-Man, MJ and Pete have broken up, so there's some slight tension here, and Peter, of course, is asking the very important questions.
Did she change her perfume? Focus, Pete, focus.
But now we're dealing with a new enemy who loves to wear these masks. And after dealing with the last guy, MJ manages to get herself caught, and after saving her, we fight these mask guys head on. And they have some rather interesting powers. After dealing with those enemies and we're swinging about again, we get word from Yuri that Shocker is out and about.
Looks like our old friend Herman Schultz is at it again.
Shocker!
So of course now we need to go deal with him. And now we're just chasing Shocker throughout the city, throwing all sorts of insults. But eventually we do manage to catch up with him and subdue him. After dealing with Shocker, we return to Feast and have a chat with Mr. Lee, who seems to be running this whole organization. After chatting with Lee, Otto asks us to return to the lab. Basically, in that cutscene, Otto tells us that funding has been cut, so Peter effectively doesn't have a job. So he's Spider-Man, and he works for a non-profit in Feast, and now he doesn't have a job. How is this boy making money? On to our next collectible.
Even tried to kill funding for his research stations. Hey, one of those stations is nearby.
Basically, Harry Osborn has these research stations set up around this city, and we need to upkeep them while he's away. Each of these stations has their own little side mission that we need to do. This one, for example, there are these toxic clouds in the environment, and we just need to swing through them. On to the next mission. Somehow, Shocker returns, and he's in the bank stealing money, so we have to take him out again. And this fight ends up with Shocker being trapped under a chandelier. I love this boss fight so much. The boss fights in this game are, I'll be honest, they're really good. But this fight, I love just because Shocker is one of my favorite villains from Spider-Man. Mainly down to, I remember my first memories of Spider-Man as a kid, playing Enter Electro on the PS1, and he's the first main boss that you fight in the game.
Get up, wall crawler. I'm not done beating on you yet.
Shocker! Nice to see you too.
And also this iconic scene from the animated series.
Get back here, Shocker! Shocker!
And yes, I know he's probably the least intimidating villain in the Sinister Six, but since he has sentimental value, I kind of have to defend him, right? So after dealing with Shocker, we have a quick chat with Yuri, and we come to the conclusion that Shocker was working for the demon guys that are running around with the masks. So after that, we're going to do some quick upgrades to our gadgets, mainly the impact webs, because they're just so overpowered in this game. Then we arrive at the docks and have our first dealing with the snipers in this game, and I just love how clean this final takedown was.
Zebra 2. Zebra 2, not responding. Check it out.
After taking down all the enemies, we need to break into this building with the help of Jefferson Davis, who is a cop. Breaking in is actually easy since it's on the roof, and when inside, we gain access to these electrical webs in convenient fashion, because using these, we need to reactivate some of these panels in order to let Davis in. After doing some slight puzzles involving the electric webs and looking about for a bit and definitely not getting lost, eventually we find this hidden room in the floor. We follow the path underground and we end up in this vault, hoping to find the demons, but they've already dipped. We do, however, find a back door and actually run into them on the streets, so we get to take them down. They do manage to get away in these trucks, so now we need to pursue. We almost end up in a head-on collision with a truck, but we just barely managed to avoid it. While trying to save this truck from toppling into a train, we almost get taken out until Jeff comes in clutch and saves us. Not once, but twice. Unfortunately, after that, after a long day, we return home, but of course we've been evicted. All of our stuff has been thrown in the trash. And annoyingly, there's something rather important that we need, so we need to track it down. We managed to track down a truck, but of course
it's locked.
we have to do some breaking and entering. Well,
It's not really breaking and entering if I don't break anything, right?
upon investigating the truck further, our stuff isn't exactly there,
Okay, time to panic.
so we need to go track down a different one. Eventually, we end up near the Williamsburg Bridge and end up finding the truck. But of course, it's been looted, so we need to take down the guys and also help this guy out. And we actually end up finding our precious USB drive, and using this USB drive, we create the web bomb. Very, very amazing web. We take a few pictures before awkwardly figuring out how to ask MJ if we can crash on her couch.
Hey, MJ, now that we're talking again, I thought maybe... Okay, that just sounds pathetic.
But as we arrive, we get notified that MJ's story got published, so we try and find somewhere else to stay. Eventually, we get a voicemail from a mysterious voice asking us to meet her at a particular address. This mysterious voice was Black Cat.
Thinking about you a lot lately. We were good together, weren't we?
And she asks us to find her Black Cat plushies that she has left us. So this is going to be another collectible that we need to do in this game. And finding these, maybe because it's just that I'm stupid, but finding these can be a bit annoying. Also, I know Spider-Man and Black Cat have a weird relationship, but who knew Black Cat's way of flirting would be to hide 12 toys around New York and then make Spider-Man find them. After that, we get a call from Aunt May and we ask her if we can crash at the shelter. So, I mean, at least we're not out on the street. In the morning, we start one of our next side missions, and it's to get pigeons for this gentleman named Howard. And I don't know why, I really like this mission. I just love Howard. And thankfully, there's not too many pigeons to grab. It's not exactly Grand Theft Auto 4. After doing that, we meet up with this lady who, at first glance, may have some relationship issues.
Fine. It's my husband, Rodrigo. He's been acting weird, and I just found out he's meeting this woman.
Well, listen, I'm not the best person to help with relationship problems.
Me too, Peter. Me too. But slight misunderstanding. We think her husband is involved with some bad people. We find her husband chatting to this girl, and we become the friendly neighborhood photographer. After eavesdropping, it seems like this guy is being blackmailed with a particular photograph of himself. The lady seems to be meeting up with this guy, so again, we take a few pictures, and then we get to tail this guy. And we tail up through the subway system, which is kind of wild. We reach the end of the line and begin following him above ground again into this building, practically stalking this guy into this building. We eventually come into this room where we see this whiteboard that has some plans of a casino heist. I didn't realize Spider-Man was also Jessica Jones, being a private investigator. Eventually, we end up following this car, and can anyone explain how I died here? Like, I'm all ears, because how? So we tail the cars, and eventually we take them out, and then this is just a classic brawl on the streets. And that's mission done. After that mission, I purchased the classic suit for one reason only. Yeah, this ability is just silly and so overpowered. It's so effective when there's walls available for the enemies to just stick to. It's just dumb. Fast forward a little bit after dealing with a few more crimes, activating a few more towers, taking a few more photographs. While trying to get to the main mission, we eventually arrive back at Fisk Tower, and here we have another stealth section. And then we come across this guy getting ambushed, so we've got to make some very quick work of these demons. And we've now got to rescue a few of Fisk's men in the tower. And after rescuing the final guy, we then get one of the coolest scenes in the game with stopping this crane from following, even if me disabling the QTEs makes it a little less exciting.
Go! Did that just happen?
And then going from that to immediately chasing a helicopter with a practically big boulder smashing into New York, it's just cool. And after smashing through a few buildings and falling through a few floors, we end up running through this building before eventually taking down a chopper, just in a rather unconventional way.
Please don't screw this up.
Next up, we gotta go to City Hall, but of course, we do a few crimes and, of course, catch a pigeon.
Okay.
We arrive at City Hall for a ceremony, and of course, this ceremony just doesn't go down well, and this entire ceremony gets attacked by the demons. And now we're playing as Miles Morales, seeing Peter and MJ having a pretty rough time. But as Miles, we gotta look for our mother. We do actually find her, but she's having a pretty rough time. After freeing her, we then go look for our dad. And this is just your standard stealth section that everyone loves in this game. You see some horrific sights.
Where do you think you're going?
And eventually we do manage to reach Dad. Try and take this guy out, but yeah, sadly Miles's dad is he's dead. 1 week later, and a quick funeral later, unfortunate. God, I'm so happy these characters are fictional, because I just sound so bad when I said that. We do some more of these towers. We do more of Black Cat's little hide-and-seek thing. And of course, grab a pigeon.
Taking you home, buddy.
But back to the story, MJ gives us a tip on this recycling center that Mr. Lee, the leader of the demons, owns. So we gotta go check it out. And of course, it's covered with demons. We use a lot of web tech to stealth this area. Then we have some fun with these electric webs to open a door. And then when inside the building, we do a bit more further investigating. I'm saying investigating a lot in this video. Turns out Lee is using this place to make some bombs. So we need to figure out what these bombs are for. Then we arrive at another shipping area and have some more guys to take out. This also unlocks us the tripwire web. So a quick tutorial on that.
And that, my friends, is what karmic justice looks like.
And again, it's just another web that's just really fun to use in this game. After taking these guys out, we run into the building and find this map. So it's just more bases for us to clear out for the 100%. Then when we leave, we've got to deal with this new enemy who can be a bit of a pain to deal with. And after dealing with those, we then run into a new enemy type.
Safety's off.
Well, this is new.
And we meet Sable.
Nice entrance. Solid 8 out of 10.
He's going to be a bit of a thorn in our side for the rest of the game. We then head to Feast and try and sneak into Martin's office. Then we have to deal with this puzzle like we're playing Resident Evil.
Yes.
And in here we find loads of different gadgets that Martin has been using. But of course this room is booby-trapped, so if we were anyone other than Spider-Man, we were probably dead. Then while leaving, we run into Martin, and we have probably one of the most awkward conversations imaginable.
The bombers are still out there. Who knows what they've planned next?
I don't think you or May have anything to worry about. As long as you stay away from places you're not supposed to be. Well,
after leaving Feast, we do a few more upgrades, have a quick catch up with MJ while taking some photos. We help this lady with some devices, and we stop a few more crimes. And of course, say it with me, catch a pigeon.
Okay.
Then we do a few more things for Otto before meeting up with MJ. We do some freelance.
Guess I'll just freelance for a while until she calls.
So, of course, freaking more pigeon catching.
Taking you home, buddy.
We deal with some more of these demon bases. We do more of these crimes.
Glad I was here.
And then we eventually meet up with MJ and she tells us all the shenanigans that she's been up to. So, of course, stealth section. But we do find these plans for an APC and what Martin is potentially up to. And we also get a quick sighting of Tombstone, who I completely forgot was in this game. Back at dinner, after a quick discussion with MJ potentially being our sidekick, so at least then we have someone else to blame when something goes wrong. And also Peter almost burning the place down.
Not again.
We, of course, have to dip.
That sounds familiar. Oscorp CFO. You don't think this has anything to do with Lee, do you? Did you just leave your clothes on the kitchen floor?
Where do you want me to,
Just the couch is fine.
And what's worse, we don't even get to eat the food that we cooked. This man is living on takeaways and he can't get to eat the food that he actually makes.
Hey, it's me.
This curry is legit.
This boy goes through so much hardship in these games. But before dealing with the main story, of course, we get sidetracked with one of Harry's research stations, and we get to use the spider bot and follow this green gas and then web up this guy with said bot. After assisting the police with dealing with the demons, we get into this parking area and we find the security guard who is hurt. He tells us where the guy we need to find is at, so we need to go get him. Obviously, after taking down a few of these enemies. But now there's enemies everywhere in this multi-story car park. So everywhere we look, we're fighting, which I'm not complaining. And with the elevators not working, because why would they be, we've just got to climb up them. Somehow this guy didn't see me coming. He just had no peripheral vision at all. Or this guy, or this guy. And we've got to get through these shutters a few times. Each shutter gets more crazy than the last with just elevators just dropping. But after going through the shutter, we actually find our way to our objective and need to take a few more of these guys out. So after doing a lot of stealth takedowns and whatever this was, and then dealing with this dummy, we have a quick chat with this guy before we're interrupted with a helicopter. Then we manage to do something that'll make Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man cry.
Gotcha! You okay?
Then after a quick chat with Yuri and a quick catch-up, we're actually able to chill for a bit. So you know what we're gonna do? Catch pigeons!
Taking you home, buddy.
We stop some crimes and we grab a few more backpacks. But then, of course, comes this box that's been left by Taskmaster.
Spider-Man, so you found one of my recon points.
Who is this?
Wrong question. The correct one is, can you stop the bombs I've planted?
So he's kind of like Azrael from the Arkham games, where he's just watching you, try and judge you and see your weaknesses. So he gives us some tasks that were scored on, like this one, for example. He's just casually left some bombs in the city that we need to get rid of. Not quite something Azrael did, but you know what I mean. And of course, we're timed on this, so we're going to be going for the gold just to get some gloating. I mean, I'm here for 12 hours, so I'm at least going to try and make this competitive.
So close to perfection.
After dealing with Taskmaster's bombs, MJ tells us about a party that we need to attend in order to find someone important. And just looking at the photo, it looks like a Spidey villains party. I wonder if we could sell this to the Daily Bugle. So we arrive at the party, we get some grief from Mysterio, how I wish he was in this game.
Ah, Spider-Man, my nemesis. You won't catch me this time. Now I have you.
Hey, what's wrong with you? I worked on that helmet for a week.
And we find out that the guy we're looking for is partying as the giant lizard. We have this run-in with Rhino. And then we see that Isaac is being taken by the demons, so we quickly need to go get him. We rescue this guy before he breaks down into a brawl, and then we have a brief combat encounter before we then see Lee using more of his powers. Lee then corrupts these people outside, and we need to take them down after they start attacking us. He even corrupts Rhino, and I'm convinced here that we kill him. I know no killing is mainly Batman's thing, and it's definitely Spider-Man's thing as well, but I'm convinced he's dead. After dealing with that, we do some more of these crimes, a research station, and of course, hunt a pigeon.
Okay.
But now back onto the main story. We need to break into Oscorp. We need to disable these security systems in order to get inside. We've got to disable 4 of these switches that are on the outside of the building. And just like that, we're inside. I don't know who makes the security systems. How are you going to turn these back on? And we very quickly are able to access Norman's computer. And just some exposition showing what Martin Lee really wants.
GR27 is Devil's Breath. It's designed to cure diseases. But in its current form, it's like a bioweapon. Dr. Michaels keeps the only sample with him at all times. That's why Lee wants him. We find Michaels, we find Devil's Breath.
But now back to swinging. You should know what's coming up by now. You got some backpacks. Then we come to Central Park as MJ, who thought it would be a good idea to break into a Sable base. So, of course, stealth section. While doing the stealth section, MJ ends up at gunpoint, so we need... And... Blah. At the end of this stealth section, MJ ends up at gunpoint and needs to talk her way out of it. But before Sable comes and finds us, we zip our way out of here. And then after we drop MJ off, she hits us with just a punch to the gut.
Well, that was maybe the most awkward swing of my life.
You knock a man out, destroy my background research, and the best you got is sorry, Charlie? Is everything a joke to you?
What? MJ, no, I screwed up. It was a tension breaker.
Tension breaker, right. You know, this is exactly why we broke up. Listen, I gotta go, Peter. Filing deadline.
Peter, that's how you know she's still mad.
But now we get to kill some more time with some collectibles. Crimes with Miles' mother is calling at an inconvenient time.
Hello?
Mr. Parker, it's Rio Morales. I want to thank you for getting Miles the job at the feed shelter.
And we do a few more of these upgrades. One of Taskmaster's challenges, and of course Harry's research stations. We even do one of Black Cat's hide and seek things, and also one of Kingpin's hideouts. Again, there's just so much to do in this game. But then eventually we're able to advance the story by going back into Otto's lab. It's just puzzles for us to do in here, so of course, skip. And then in the cutscene, I don't want to say Doc Ock is being born, but god damn, we're very close to it. And then May texts us, so we kind of gotta go. Before going back to Aunt May, I end up doing this side mission and run into this poor guy.
I think that's it.
And we also do a viewpoint tower. I'm very surprised I haven't done all of these yet. And of course, some more pigeons.
Guard. And keep a close eye on that barista with the man bun making your skinny latte.
And also we need to take down this final Fisk hideout. We got a nice reference to a particular character who I absolutely love.
I think some big-time lawyer lives here. I bet she's after his client list to find new targets. Hate to admit it, but she's one smart cat.
All right, I was supposed to go into this next mission, but of course another research station pops up. And this one wants us to shoot some electrics at some of the Times Square signs. But back onto the main mission, we arrive at Feast, but we see Miles is just getting ruined. So we do what we do best.
You're Spider-Man. You're the amazing Spider-Man. Gotta go. Hey, thanks. You know, anytime.
And now we're playing as Miles in another stealth section. But we get in the clear and we actually arrive at Feast and we meet up with Peter. And Miles tries to help this guy by turning on the TV and turned it on to probably the worst thing ever.
Tributes continue to pour in for Officer Jefferson Davis, the hero killed in the City Hall bombing.
Now back to playing as Spidey. We're following Martin Lee's crew as he has something that's called Devil's Breath, which is basically just a big disease that he wants to set up on the city. And God, the swinging in this game is just so satisfying. Going from swinging to running on a wall to straight back into swinging is just one of the most satisfying things in this game. We then have some fist fights on the truck while Sable tries to shoot at us because our life is never easy.
Whoa, whoa, there's a biological weapon in there!
All units, open fire!
Whoa, why is everyone shooting rockets all of a sudden?
We try and say hi to Martin. We try and grab this case.
Take this! What are you doing to me?
Giving you a new perspective.
This is one of my favorite sections in this game. It's just so cool to go through. This is just such a cool design of scenes. The fighting is just so fun. We blow up this mask and here comes Mr. Negative with a quick punch. And then we crash the truck. Then we help up this guy. Sable comes in and said guy goes with her. Now back in the free roam, you already know what we're doing. We're doing some crimes. We're doing some side missions. More of these Taskmaster challenges. After that, we find Martin's last location to find the Devil's Breath, but the Devil's Breath is gone. We then play as MJ, and she's in Grand Central Station, the place from that one movie. Also, MJ comes across this device, and when she spins around, she sees a very familiar face.
Mr. Lee.
This will be easier for everyone if you remain calm and do as I say.
And he and the demons just take over the station. So MJ messages Pete in order to come assist. And I do really like this section. As MJ, you direct Spidey around the room. And it's just really cool. This demon takes MJ after she says that she's a reporter, and Spidey then swoops in and snaps him up. Eventually, we come across these drones, and thanks to a tablet that we grabbed a little earlier on, we can then just turn them off. And then we use these lures in order to take down the enemies quietly, with the help of Spidey, of course. And I'm not gonna lie, as much as I don't like the stealth sections in this game, this part is kind of fun. And of course, they're still arguing.
I think partners trust each other, Peter.
What do you mean? I trust you.
Yeah, when I'm sitting at home behind a laptop.
I feel like this is a diss towards Oracle. I'm not gonna lie. To be fair though, I mean, Batgirl solos MJ, even from her wheelchair. Then we get the Devil's Breath, and we need to disarm it by cutting some wires.
No.
Let's try that again.
Got it.
You did it. Wow.
Yeah.
But after disarming the Devil's Breath, we then get to have some fun as Spidey around the Grand Central Station. And after taking these guys down, we let these guys out and we just have an all-out brawl. After taking down everyone, we need to quickly catch up to a train as Lee is looking to leave. And we have a nice boss fight with him. We drop in on some New Yorkers before eventually taking him out. It's just a classic.
No problem. That totally worked last time.
Before we send this train up through the ground, and then Mr. Negative gets captured. After dealing with Martin Lee, time for some world cleanup. We do some side missions for this guy. After dealing with that, we arrive back at Otto's lab, and Otto has a very particularly interesting suit on, if I don't say so myself. And also he shows off his tentacles. I'm sure that won't come back to bite us later on. And obviously, some puzzles. We have a brief chat with Otto, and then we leave, and then Otto sees a news report about Norman Osborn and decides to take out his anger on the TV. Taking control back of Spidey, we do some more of these Taskmaster challenges and finish up some side missions. We do some backpacks before heading back to Feast. Peter has a quick chat with May about Martin, and then catches up in a news report that the Devil's Breath that we disabled has been taken again. So, of course, we kind of have to dip.
Oh, it never ends.
But before doing that, before that primary objective of stopping a virus going free around New York City, Taskmaster challenge. And after doing that challenge, Taskmaster himself pops up. And we have a quick, albeit fun fight.
Hey!
Guess I need more data before I can fulfill my contract.
Here's all the data I need. I beat you, you ran away. Conclusion, you lose.
Not yet. You'll find other challenges around the city. Once I've seen what you can do, we'll talk about round 2.
And we complete one of the demon warehouses and another research station involving pigeons. Back to the main story, we arrive at the crash site, but sadly, of course, the Devil's Breath is gone. Yuri tells us that something bad is going down at the big super prison where all our villains are being kept. So we kind of need to go. A lot of prisoners are escaping, so we do what we do best. And there are inmates everywhere in this section. It's just a big combat section, and it's a lot of fun. After taking everyone down, turns out some of the inmates want to escape via a chopper, and God, this whole section is just so cool. We have our first run-in with Electro, who downs our chopper, and then we need to deal with more of these inmates. And then a quick run-in with Rhino, because of course. And then we have another encounter with a different villain. Scorpion. Bro, we're so close to the Sinister Six at this point. Another quick encounter with Electro, and then we end up chasing him throughout this entire prison. This game, it's so sick. We do catch up with him, but then, of course, Vulture decides to have a little chat with us. And after one more chase with Electro, everyone decides to show up. And this stuff, I just love. Give me a Spider-Man game where all the villains just go at him at once. It's just so peak. But Scorpion jabs us, and then everyone just decides to take their turn ruining it. And then everyone just decides to take their turns just absolutely bodying us. And then, of course, the big reveal that absolutely no one, and no one suspected.
First and final warning. Stay out of our way.
Now at Times Square, Otto has released the Devil's Breath, and it spreads very quickly. 24 hours later, so many people are ill, including Aunt May, and MJ is doing a report against Norman stating that the Devil's Breath was made at Oscorp. Back as Spidey, after recovering, he informs us of what's going on, and Sable, deciding that we're number one fugitive, because of course we are, they decide to start throwing rockets at us. And this is where these Sable outposts and inmate bases come into play. Again, it's just another base that we have to deal with. So some more crimes, and of course, while the city is going into chaos, I decided that the very important thing we need to do is cats and pigeons. We deal with our first prisoner camp and also do some upgrades, and then a lot more crimes. And our crimes include the Sable checkpoints now, so we'll have to get those done as well. Back to the story, we climb to the top of the Empire State Building. Yuri tells us where Electro and Rhino are getting up to their mischief, so we have to go help them out. So we jump off, and of course a crime pops, so we have to get that done really quick. Honestly, again, it's just good to get them done when you come across them, just so you have less to do later. But we do some more crimes. We then climb to the Avengers Tower to collect a vial of sand. I don't know what Tony Stark was doing with this. And then we find Electro. So for Electro, in order to beat him, we need to destroy these transformers in order to stop the electricity surrounding the building. I know an electrician is having a very bad day looking at this. And there is a few of these to destroy. But once we destroy them, the police then come out, but of course, we've got some more fighting to do. After dealing with those, Yuri tells us to go somewhere else as Rhino is just acting up and going crazy. And also Miles rings us saying that some inmates are trying to get into Feast.
Convicts are trying to break down the doors. Mary Jane's here, but we're getting people out to the basement. We need more help.
We arrive at the station and Rhino's just going crazy, but we need to leave him to go deal with the inmates. And I'm having a lot of fun with these trip mine webs, I'm not gonna lie. I make sure of dealing with the snipers on the roof, and then Sable interrupts, because of course.
Priority target acquired. Proceeding to pacify.
There are easier ways to ask for an autograph.
So a lot of juggling in the air like we're playing Devil May Cry. After dealing with those, MJ calls us asking for help, but of course, we got some crimes to deal with first. They take priority. MJ tells us that a fire has been started, and I love the idea that I saw this burning building, then prioritized a backpack. We jump into the building and find May and Miles just chilling, kind of. And our partner in crime comes in and assists, and this scene is just peak.
Miles, come on! No!
Then a quick briefing with Team Spider before we get on to our next task. Now we can chill for a bit doing some more side stuff. So we got a Taskmaster challenge, we got a research station, we got some of these easy crimes, and then we arrive at Times Square where Devil's Breath was released in order to try and find some clues. And it's just a lot of following these lines. And eventually we follow the correct line up into this building, into this hatch. And this is basically Otto Octavius's side lair, we'll say. We find a lot of upgrades for the villains. We find his future plans. Eventually, we end up looking up something called Icarus. And then...
This is it.
Hello, Spider-Man.
There is no Icarus, is there?
No. Martin needs no assistance to secure the anti-serum. Icarus was a ruse to get you into position.
Into position? Huh?
Need a lift!
So Vulture decides to fly us all over the city and eventually lands us here with Electro. So this is a Vulture / Electro boss fight, and I love this boss fight so much. The 2v1 boss fights in this game are just so good. This boss fight is just a lot of stunning and a lot of attacking, and it's even the same with Vulture, but it's just so fun to do. We do a phase each and then a phase with them combined. Again, I love this fight so much. There's just so much carnage. I love it. Oh, carnage. Then after dealing with them two, Spidey decides to have himself a little power nap. And then when he wakes up, we do a quick Taskmaster challenge, we do some crimes, and then another prisoner camp. We start this side mission where there seems to be a Spider-Man imposter.
Near the theater on 126 and Powell. She just called and told me.
Right. Sorry. Happy to help. I'm glad your daughter's safe.
Okay, I wasn't anywhere near there. Someone's impersonating me.
Could be the chameleon again. I've got to pick up his trail.
And after following his trail for a while, eventually we find him, and he ends up in his own little sticky situation, so we gotta help him out.
Whoa, hey guys! I'm not the real Spider-Man!
Not anymore, you're not.
And how this side mission didn't end up with them pointing at each other, I don't know. We also complete another one of these research stations and photograph one of our last landmarks. And during this crime, we do one of my favorite things in this game. Swing kick enemies off a building. Then arriving at the main objective, we arrive at this house and Scorpion decides to drop us a visit. And he ends up giving us a little bit of poison. And that makes us start to hallucinate and see things. So we gotta get to higher ground and skip a puzzle. We swing over to a greenhouse looking for an antidote. And then we end up swinging through this mess before eventually finding an antidote. And after finding said antidote, we then need to find a neurotoxin, so now we've got to swing while avoiding Scorpion's tails. We get to this research station and we got to do another one of these swinging sections, and it starts off just so well. And I thought about this while I was scripting this video. This reminds me of the Scarecrow sections in Arkham Asylum. It's pretty cool. Again, a lot of Batman references in this video. We then arrive back at the lab and Peter says he's running out of time and he's just walking so calmly, to be honest. It looks like he's got hours left. And we end up back in a dream section where we have to fight Scorpion for a bit. And not just one Scorpion, many Scorpions. But after dealing with those, we do eventually craft the antidote, but it seems like we were out for a while.
Where'd my suit go?
And now we've got some time to kill, so we do some more of the prisoner camps, we do some more crimes, and then this side mission for this guy where we need to go find some missing people. We do a Taskmaster challenge, and while we're at it, we do one of my favorite swinging sections I've done in this game.
Now I can... So close to perfection.
And then we arrive back at Feast. We have a quick chat with Aunt May. And then try and ring Miles, but he's not answering because, of course, he's having his own issues looking for meds. So we get another stealth section. We grab the supplies, and now we have to deal with Rhino. Like, this section is fine. I don't mind Rhino just destroying everything, but it's just a stealth section, and I'm bored of them. But thankfully, this one isn't too long. After escaping, Miles then hides and then comes across this guy getting absolutely bodied. And Miles stands up to this guy and actually gets a lick in. Again, I don't know how Miles does this because he's not exactly Spider-Man yet, but hey, I'm not going to complain. Back as Peter, we're dealing with more of the crimes. We deal with another Taskmaster challenge and another Sable base. And again, this is just a big cleanup section. I did so many crimes, and this was probably one of the most satisfying ones that I've done. We did so many bases. We did a few Taskmaster challenges before finally arriving to stop Rhino. And fighting Rhino is actually quite fun. It's using a lot of these obstacles on him, which stuns him, and then you just go crazy on him. And after going crazy on Rhino, Scorpion then decides to drop in, so it's another 2v1. And dealing with Scorpion, we stun him with our webs, and then we just do a finishing move. And again, I love this boss fight. It's a 2v1. Again, the 2v1s in this game are great. Also, it seems like here, Rhino actually takes out Scorpion, which is kind of funny, and he just lies there. But eventually, after taking down Rhino, they end up both locked up in this container. So that's very fun. After dealing with the dynamic duo, we then do a few more side mission stuff, including this research station, some more of these crimes. We catch another pigeon. One of Black Cat's hide-and-seek toys, and then we get back to the story. We're playing as MJ inside of Oscorp, and we need to get to Norman Osborn's penthouse. We rustle up the locals in order to try and cause a distraction, so then we can sneak right on in. And of course, it's another stealth section. One more distraction to get Norman and Sable downstairs, and then we sneak right on in, even if MJ almost got caught. So now we get to search his penthouse, and this was just a lot of me wandering around, just trying to figure out what to do. But eventually I managed to find this key behind this photo, and we opened up this room to find a full medical suite. But while looking around, Norman and Sable return to the penthouse, so now we need to sneak our way out. But first, why not break into this lab? And in here, we're looking for the lab where the Devil's Breath was produced. Then in the cutscene, we try and leave. We find this video showing Martin Lee basically becoming Mr. Negative, which ends up killing his parents. So you can kind of see why he's blaming Norman. Then MJ knocks down this device, making a loud noise, causing Sable to come in and investigate. And again, how she doesn't see us, I don't know. But of course, now we need to sneak on out. We clear out this balcony, and Pete really needs to hurry up because we're about to jump off a building.
You are crazy.
You're amazing.
We arrive back at Feast. MJ gives us a catch-up, and then we go off on our own separate ways. And it seems like MJ has a little visitor on her shoulder. I'm sure that won't come back later on. Back in the free roam, we finish up another research station, do a few more crimes, and we catch the final pigeon.
Him and not Martin Lee. I do blame Martin Lee. He deserves swift justice, but he's a lunatic terrorist.
We complete a Taskmaster challenge before going to Oscorp's hidden lab. We deal with a few of these snipers, and then after dealing with them, we can actually enter the lab. Well, try to enter the lab at least. But we make a truce in order to rescue Norman and stop Lee. The truce lasts 5 seconds, however, because we get split up again. We find Lee, and he throws us into the negative zone again. And here, of course, we see more of Lee's backstory, and that his parents died when he became Mr. Negative. Then moments later, we see what Martin wants to do to Norman before we stop him just in the nick of time. And now it's time for a boss fight. It's relatively easy boss fight until Martin summons this demon and all these other little minions we need to deal with. And again, I know I referenced Arkham Asylum earlier with the Scarecrow, but does this boss remind anyone of Ra's al Ghul in Arkham City? No? Anyone? But eventually we take down Lee with a big fly kick, Liu Kang style. And then Otto decides to drop in on us, and he's not best pleased.
Useless.
And he just absolutely bodies us. Then, as if things couldn't go from bad to worse, Sable decides to drop in, though she actually seems kind of chill.
Hey. Hey.
Where's Otto?
Gone. I would not worry about him right now.
Eventually, we wake up, and the first thing on Peter's mind is Aunt May, because she's dying, and the only thing that can save her is a anti-serum that Otto took off us. So we kind of need to hurry and go get that. So MJ gives us some encouragement, and we're off. Also, that Spider decides to make an appearance again.
All right. No. No, that's not it. Maybe it's this one. No.
So before dealing with Otto and dealing with our sick and dying aunt, we, of course, got to do some side missions to help look for some of these students. We deal with Tombstone, actually, which is kind of wild. Again, completely forgot he was in this game. We deal with another one of Catwoman's cats, and we do another Taskmaster challenge. Deal with another research station, a demon warehouse, and then we meet Screwball, because, again, they couldn't come up with any more insufferable characters in this game. I mean, she seems pleasant at first. She just wants us to take some photos of these codes. Nothing too crazy. Then, all of a sudden, these laptops are bombs that we have to get rid of. Like, she's kind of nuts. Then I decided to look at my timer. The last couple hours, I've just been sort of just playing the game. We only have 1 hour and 30 minutes left, so we're cutting this kind of close. But then we deal with the final Sable base, so I'm happy I don't have to deal with those. And then we're just finishing up some stuff. Majority of the things I need to do now is just crimes. So we knock out quite a few of those. And again, we take down Tombstone after dealing with just his shipments earlier on. We finish up the Taskmaster challenges, and then we take down Taskmaster himself.
School's out, Taskmaster.
We also find Black Cat's location, and turns out she made us a suit. Ain't that nice? At least someone appreciates my hard work. But thankfully, we don't have too many crimes left to finish, to the point where as soon as I finished up this crime, we actually 100%ed the map, which is kind of nuts. But we still have a few bits to finish up, not just 100%ing the map. So now that we've done that, we can actually go into the final mission. We arrive back at the lab to try and find the weakness to Otto's arms, since we kind of helped him make them. And we end up with this beauty. We find Otto and Norman on top of this building. Otto is trying to get him to confess, and then he drops him, but we come in clutch and actually help him out. And oh my god, this suit is just so beautiful. I love this suit so much.
Give me the anti-serum!
But we're fighting Otto for the serum in order to rescue Aunt May, so this needs to be done as quickly as possible. And I love this fight. This fight is just spectacular. And then he drops this big line.
Parker.
You knew?
I tried to warn you, Peter, but you didn't listen.
You knew?
I won't let you win. This means too much to me.
Not more than it means
to me!
And again, just looking back at this game is just so good. This game is really one of the best superhero games ever made. And it's crazy, it's been 8 years since this game has dropped. Again, I know the internet doesn't like Spider-Man 2 and the story and things like that. I haven't played Spider-Man 2 since it dropped back in 2023. So again, if you want a video like this for Spider-Man 2, I'm more than happy to do it because I love playing these games. But this game in its shell is just so good. We eventually beat Otto, and he drops us a speech that you could kind of mirror to Otto in Spider-Man 2 about using your gifts for the good of mankind. Like, it's is a nice touch.
That's because men like us have a duty, a responsibility, to use our talents in the service of others, even if they don't appreciate it.
But after dealing with Otto and getting the anti-serum, we then have probably the most gut-wrenching scene in superhero games and even superhero movies.
It's still viable. We'll need the entire sample as a base to produce more doses.
How long will that take?
A few hours. Maybe a day.
What if we use it to cure someone right now?
Then there won't be enough to cure the others.
You're gonna be okay, ma'am. I've got the cure right here.
Take off your mask. I want to see my nephew.
You knew?
I've known for a while.
I never wanted you to worry.
I did. And I am so proud of you. And Ben would be too. All the people you've saved.
I don't know what to do.
Yes, you do.
Even watching this scene back while I'm editing and scripting, this scene is just really hard to watch. It really is. But a cure is then made, Otto is in prison, MJ and Peter are back together, and Miles is also Spider-Man.
No.
It's pretty weird, right?
Not that weird.
But now after beating that mission, I do officially have the 100%. However, I checked, I was so close to getting the platinum that I thought I may as well. So we buy all the suits, we buy all the upgrades, we say hi to these guys, we reach the top of the Avengers Tower. How I didn't get this trophy when I got that grain of sand earlier, I don't know. We do some tricks in the air, and then the final trophy that we obtain is visiting Uncle Ben's grave. So with 20 minutes to spare, we 100% Spider-Man 2018. Again, I know that's not saying a lot, doing it in 12 hours. I've seen people 100% this game in like 4 hours. But considering it's my first playthrough of this game in like 6 years, roughly, I'll take it. So every story mission, every collectible, every district, every challenge, every crime, every freaking pigeon, we did it in less than 12 hours. So, yeah. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.